Hi everybody and welcome back. And as you can see, I was making biscotti at work the other day, and I thought to myself, what a fantastic recipe to share with everyone. You know, biscotti is one of those things it's great throughout the year, but especially during the holiday season. And you know, it's easy, it is delicious, and it keeps for a very long time. So this particular recipe is very versatile. You know, I just ended up using dried cranberries and vanilla, but you know, you can use whatever you want to use. Get creative, you know, whatever you think your friends and family are gonna like. Alright, so let's get started. Let me show you how to make this fantastic biscotti recipe. A little bit smaller than the one that I make at work. Alright, so to begin, we're going to be measuring out 230 grams of room temperature butter. Now make sure that your butter is at room temperature and quite soft because it's going to make the creaming method much easier. And also, as you notice, I am measuring everything out in grams. If you don't own a kitchen scale, I highly recommend purchasing one as it makes baking much more accurate. Now to the room temperature butter, we're going to be measuring out 300 grams of granulated sugar. Now just cream the butter and sugar together, either using a stand mixer or a hand mixer. I just happen to use a hand mixer just because that's what I had. And from here, we're going to be adding 4 eggs, one at a time, and make sure that you incorporate each egg thoroughly after each addition. Now once the eggs are thoroughly incorporated, add 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and as you can see, my batter is getting quite soft. For your dry ingredients, we're going to measure out 620 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and also a half a teaspoon of salt. Now you could at this point sift it, but I find that using a whisk works just as well for getting the lumps out. And then from there, we're going to add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients quite slowly. You don't want to add it all at once or you're going to end up overworking your batter. So as you can see, once most of it's incorporated, I tend to take the mixer out and I like to finish it by hand because I feel like, first of all, the mixer is not as strong as you'd like it to be unless you're using a stand mixer, but I also just like to kind of feel the dough at the end and just, you know, work it together. And as you can see, I also added 140 grams of dried cranberries. And then divide it into 3 equal portions, or as equal as you can get them. Now you can use a baking sheet lined with parchment. I tend to use a Silpat just because it's much easier. Coat your hands with a little bit of flour just because it is kind of a sticky dough. And we're going to be rolling it to the width of the pan. And as you can see, I moved to the countertop. I found it a little bit easier. Now once you get a rhythm going down, this goes quite fast, so you can make quite a few of these if you are doing it for work or if you're doing it for a cookie exchange. Now once they're all rolled out, you want to pat them down a little bit. You don't want to mush them, but you want to make sure that the tops are flat. And then I just did a simple egg wash. It was 1 egg with about a tablespoon of water, and I just whisked it up. And this is going to do a couple different things. First of all, it's going to give the biscotti a really beautiful golden brown color, but it's also going to act as sort of a glue for the crystal sugar that we're going to be sprinkling on top. Now, I just used the regular crystal sugar, but I mean, if it is a holiday, you could use green or red or whatever festive colors that you wish to use. And I just ended up sprinkling a little bit extra because I like the sparkle. And then transfer it to a 350 degree oven. We're going to be baking it for about 20 to 25 minutes depending on your oven, just so long as they come out golden brown like this. And then I'm slicing it right now, but I did let it cool for about an hour before slicing it. And then I'm slicing them at kind of a slight bias, so it's a little bit of an angle. Kind of makes it a little bit prettier, and I'm making them into about half an inch thick. And then what I'm doing here is I'm putting them right back on the same sheet pan. So we're going to go in the oven a second time. And as you can see, everything is lined up and nice. We're going to put it back in the oven at 350 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes, or until the edges are just golden brown. Let them cool, and you could either leave them plain or dip them in chocolate. They are perfect for dipping in hot cocoa or coffee. If you like this recipe, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe for future recipes. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.